He's putting on a performance, guys. Like, and it's kind of hilarious. Like getting offended over pronouns, which have been a thing in the English language probably as long as the English language has existed. It's a thing in every language, actually. All languages have pronouns, and like he just decided to get triggered by it because he wanted a clip to go viral, and to his credit, he was successful. He got his clip to go viral. And now everybody's clowning on him, as they should, because he is a fucking clown. Okay, we'll see how long.
A lot of people from the Fellowship.
That wasn't
if you don't know
well
who the Fellowship is, it's a lot of content creators within kind of that based space, what we would call base, this circle of creators that have
the Fellowship, base creators. Okay, if she calls them based, and they're a circle, it kind of sounds like a circle jerk to me, but let's see.
Welcomed me and a bunch of other people who are really awesome. I'm just honored to be able to interact with on a regular basis. But that is the Fellowship. So the Fellowship has been talking about Starfield a lot lately and calling it woke. And because of that, woke...
Well, if they're actually, like, if this Fellowship calls it woke and invites you on, they sound pretty cringe, whoever they are.
Cards are just screeching.
I know, the woke tards are screeching. Have you seen Az screech about it? Like, he screeched so hard. He's definitely the loudest one on the internet to screech about this.
Angry and telling us we should be unalived and things of that nature just because.
Okay, So she's big enough that she probably does get this. Melonie Mac is a hateful bigot. She outright is. Do not tell her to kill herself. Just don't. Just to anybody who's watching this, don't tell people to kill themselves ever. It's just obnoxious. People tell it to me, so I know, like, she's bigger. People tell her that. She's a bigot. She's a disgusting bigot, but don't tell people to kill themselves. Just don't.
As, we call a game woke. That's completely reasonable and not mentally ill behavior or anything, right?
Plus, you give them an argument, because now I'm saying, I'm essentially saying, hey, don't kill themselves, when we should be breaking down her arguments, which are going to be awful. So we should be breaking those down instead of talking about that.
Okay, let me dive into this article. Man, my camera. All right, so let me dive into this article from Bounding into Comics.
Oh, Bounding into Comics. Good. What a great source, Melonie. Just diving straight into the solid, the greats here of journalism.
I gotta love them. All right, so they said Hassan Piker, if you don't know who that is as well, he is a streamer, really leftoid streamer.
Yeah, he's probably one of the biggest voices on the left right now, at least on the internet left. He's probably the most popular leftist streamer. I don't always agree with his takes. I think you'd be hard-pressed to find me agree with everybody on everything. But, overall, I don't have an issue with Hassan Piker.
He's a, what do you call, a champagne communist or whatever?
I don't know. What are you just saying because he lives in a capitalist system and has made a good living in a capitalist system that he's not allowed to support socialist causes? Because that's dumb. Like, if you live in a capitalist system, you can't just live as a socialist. You won't. That's not how living works.
He's one of those, okay? He's super popular. He's
quite a bit more popular than you are, it's worth saying.
One of the biggest lefty streamers on Twitch, if not the biggest. Anyway, so he insinuates he wants to lobotomize as Heelvsbabyface. Follow him. I will show you this. You'll see it here. Oh,
I didn't see the tweet. Did he actually say lobotomize? Okay, let's see. Let's see the evidence she has, because I'm not believing the headline. I wonder if it was in that tweet I brought up earlier. We gotta see context here, because I didn't read what he said under the Eric July thing.
Heelvsbabyface for criticizing Starfield's embrace of current day gender identity politics. Okay. Twitch personality Hassan Piker recently insinuated he wanted to lobotomize ass, blah, blah, blah. Okay, what?
Insinuated. That word means a lot. Where are we going with that?
I just read. All right, so in a clip from his many live streams playing Starfield in early access, as stated, Bethesda, there is nothing I love more than to sit down, comfy chair, turn on my PC, fire up a brand new RPG, and lose myself. You know, and I'm just going to show you in his words, and because he's great. but yeah, I think he really expresses a lot of the sentiment of a lot of us gamers. Now, I'll input my own commentary and opinions after I just show you guys what he said. And here we have Dan Vask, who says Western gaming industry with the mighty Heelvsbabyface, and he shares this snippet.
I just want to say something to you, Bethesda. Just want to say a little something. There is nothing I love more. Taking my headphones off.
You know, Melonie Mac are going to be... it seems like we're probably going to be laughing at this fucking clip for completely fucking different reasons. Because fucking Az is such a fucking clown in this clip. It is beyond hilarious. It is comedy gold how much of a fucking clown he is in this clip. And she's going to probably be like, oh, he's so based. No, he's not fucking based. He's a fucking clown. Jesus.
Oh, fuck that. Bethesda, there is nothing I love more than to sit down... comfy chair, turn on my PC, fire up a brand new RPG, lose myself, think, oh my god, just think of this world, just think of all the planets I can visit, all the immersive things that I can get involved with, all the fights, all the relationships, all the people I meet, all the places I go. I'm so excited to go there. And you know, I love nothing more than, with all of that laid out in front of me, I love nothing more than to be dragged out at every fucking conceivable opportunity.
Here's what I'll also say. I think Az, for all the dumbass shit he says, he's got decent comedic timing. He probably could have been all right as a stand-up comic. His timing's not bad at all.
So you can fucking current day us!
I don't like current day. It's literally, dude. You can't buy a day. You can't buy a game released in current day and then complain that it's current daying you. That's what a day. Oh my god, that's what a game released in current day will do.
Sorry, did you want to get immersed in our world? Yeah, well, guess what? Fucking pronouns.
Oh fuck yes. Current day is when you use pronouns, as you, do in every day of your life. Fun fact, the Bible has pronouns.
Fucking gender ambiguity! Fucking current day Californian shit! Because that's all we fucking know! Because we're bored!
Well, how could she not laugh at this? I feel like if you want to see me really laugh at this, watch the podcast, because you got the genuine laughs there. But, It's a little worn out for me because I've seen this clip too much, but he's got comedic timing. He's just being a fucking clown.
Boring! We're so fucking boring! We can't see past our own fucking reflection!
That is... I feel like that line is well, so much of this rant. That line's like a self-report, right? It's Az talking about himself. He can't see past his own fucking reflection. He can't, because otherwise he would just pick the pronouns he wants and call it a day. Hit create, and boom, your character's done. But he can't see past his own reflection, so he's got to freak out because other people in this single-player game might be picking pronouns that he doesn't think they should pick. What is your argument, man?
That's the level of our narcissism here at Bethesda Western Game Company. Fuck your immersion. Fuck you having a good time. Fuck you falling into a world and just getting lost. No. Current fucking day. Fuck off. You're boring. You're fucking dull. You have nothing to say. You are a one high...
That is true. Like, these guys, listen, I've seen a downturn in my ad revenue, which is why I'm doing super chat requests, which I kind of hate doing, but we're doing them now because there has been a slight turn down in my ad revenue. I've been able to pull up my views recently, but my ad revenue's going down. But if you look at Social Blade, which is reliable to a degree, it doesn't give you 100% accurate numbers, but it gives you a range. If you pull up Social Blade, how I'm hurting is nothing compared to how, like, Heelvsbabyface is hurting. Like, his numbers were way down before this went viral. Way down. And he was desperate for a viral clip, and he got his viral clip by having a shit fit over pronouns. And that's all. That's when you're looking at this, you're looking at a content creator desperate for a viral clip and just having a shit fist. That's it. That is fucking it. He is putting on a performance, desperate to get clicks. The studios are not putting out money for ads because, honestly, if you look at, we've been noticing it on the podcast, movies are already starting to dry up. We still got some movies coming out. Like, I think there's still a couple movies coming out every week, but they're drying up. It used to be, like, pretty active this year. Like, every week's, like, almost a new movie. And now we're running low. Running out. Jurassic Park's returned to theaters. They Live's returned to theaters. Goonies has returned to theaters. And you're going to see more movies return to theaters as the strikes go on, which is why the studios need to make a deal with the strikers. But during this time, there's less ad revenue being pumped into the YouTube system, meaning guys like Az and Melonie Mac are going to be desperate for content. So now they gotta get outraged over video games and outraged over just anything they can find. Desperate for that fucking YouTube ad revenue dime.
It's the mind, twat waffle! That's all you fucking are! And you wonder why people are getting so fucking sick and tired! You take everything we love, all our emotions, all...
You take everything we love and you put pronouns in it. God, these people are such snowflakes, my God.
All our fantasies, all our escapism, and you just can't help shovel your dog shit, fucking crap ideology into everything, every single solitary fucking thing.
He's putting on a performance, guys. Like, and it's kind of hilarious. Like, getting offended over pronouns, which have been a thing in the English language probably as long as the English language has existed. It's a thing in every language, actually. All languages have pronouns, and, like, he just decided to get triggered by it because he wanted a clip to go viral, and to his credit, he was successful. He got his clip to go viral. And now everybody's clowning on him, as they should. Because he is a fucking clown.
Can't nobody rant like Az. Just absolute legend of rants. The king of rants. And he says what a lot of us are thinking.
I will say, he has comedic timing.
And just...
I mean, if you're thinking that, Melonie, you're weird. Because, like, fun fact, pronouns just exist, man. Move on.
Just in his amazing way. So anyway, yeah, just to kind of echo his sentiments, that's a lot of how I feel with, like, look, Tomb Raider. I will use this as an example in almost every video I talk about. What I loved so much about Tomb Raider was that I got to unplug from the real world and go on an adventure with Lara Croft. This larger than life, beautiful, bombshell, smart, acrobatic, taking out dinosaurs and statues come to life.
Well, I mean, she has to pretend, because, I mean, she's doing the same grift he is, so she has to kind of carry on with this, with what he's saying.
You get to go on an adventure that's something like nothing ever seen in the real world. And that's what is so fun. You get to experience just this marvelous thing. And with video games now just constantly inserting ideologies into their game.
Okay, I brought this up on the podcast, but I'll bring it up again. What's a pronoun ideology? What is the ideology behind pronouns? Give me a fucking answer. You guys keep on bringing up ideologies with a pronoun selector. What ideologies are you fucking talking about?
Games and stuff that we keep seeing bombarded on Twitter, for example, just people arguing about made up identities, people changing their genders, all this kind of stuff, you know? It's like, man, I just want to unplug and play a game. And in this
Then do the pronouns you want and play the game.
case, with what Az was saying, he just wanted to explore space, bro.
And he couldn't get past the character selector because pronouns triggered him. It's fucking hilarious.
That's it. Why is there all this? Why?
Yeah, she didn't finish her Lara Croft argument. Like, I know they freak out about, like, Lara Croft apparently not being sexy, but, like, I have yet to see a picture of any version of Lara. Like, here's what I'll tell you. Like, the least sexy version of Lara Croft I've ever seen is, like, the polygon version. Okay, so this is apparently Lara Croft in the new game. She looks pretty hot to me. I'm confused what the issue is. Like, that looks hot. In fact, you know what? Let's do a trivia here. Let's do some trivia. We'll chat interaction. Tell me who you'd rather fuck. Would you rather fuck this Lara Croft? Or would you rather fuck this Lara Croft? It's up to you guys. I know which one I'd rather do. I mean, I'm sorry. Like, I'm afraid these tits would fucking scratch the shit out of me. Like, they look way too like they're like triangles, and it appears to be like one tit, and it's just not doing anything for me. I think she looks pretty hot. This one's not really doing it for me. I'm just saying. Neither. I think. Okay. Yeah, you want to go with neither? Okay. I mean, you know, this may not be your cup of tea. I am a boring cis straight male. I think that's attractive. But like, if that's not your cup of tea, sure. But like, even if this isn't your cup of tea, I think you'd have to admit, like, this looks better than this, right? Like, the fuck are we even, like, you're, like, if you're looking at this and think that she's hot, like, your imagination's doing a lot of fucking work. Like, a lot of work.
So anyway, let's continue with the article, and then I'll add some more of my opinions and stuff. And it you know, it's narcissism. That's a lot of it is narcissism. And one reason why we have so many of these ideologies inserted into the games is because these narcissists who need validation from everybody. You know, it's already bad enough that people are making up genders or whatever, but if that's what they're gonna do, okay, go be crazy. Who gives a crap, you know?
Well, I mean, you throw a shit fit over it all the time, but, yeah, no, my actual approach is I kind of don't care. People, live your best life.
But when they expect the entire world to validate they're crazy, they expect the entire world to validate them. That is the issue. We have
the entire world to validate. It's not really validating. It's just, hey, guys, I have a set of pronouns I would like to go by. And people going, okay. Like, that's it. Like, when people get married, like, let's take this firmly in the traditional sense. Women, when they get married, take on their husband's name. They don't have to, but they do. That's the tradition. And you're probably, I imagine you're fine with that, Melonie Mac. Why do you have an objection to people changing their pronouns, but don't object to women changing their name when they get married? Because it seems like kind of the same deal to me. If you're cool with one, you should be cool with the other. My personal stance is it's completely up to the woman or the man if they want to change their name when they get married. Like my ex-wife. I even had a conversation with her. I told her, I have no intention on changing my name, but if you don't want to change your name, I'm cool with that as well. Now, she did want to change her name, so she did. But I wanted to make it clear, like, if you decide not to change your name, that's fine. You do not have to change your name, but yeah.
You have to play your game to the point to where we can't even go into an imaginary world without your imaginary stuff added into it. They need validation so bad because you know who doesn't need validation? People who are confident in themselves. You know what I mean?
So, not as, who got triggered by pronouns. He definitely needs validation. Otherwise, he wouldn't have thrown a fit over it.
I mean, people who are confident that what they're doing is sound or right, you know?
That sounds like a lot of people like you, Melonie.
I need people to validate me about my faith, for example. I don't need people to validate me about Christianity.
Then why do you always preach about it and shove it down our throat every chance you get?
Need all these games to put things about Jesus in it constantly. Yeah,
But you always throw a fit. You always throw a fit whenever there's a trans person involved. Isn't that weird?
I think it's cool when there's some Christian games that exist. But just saying, like, I don't need Starfield. I don't need something. Well, oh, okay, they have to put in Bible verses in every single game. I don't need that. Because I don't need validation from every single person around
That's a good point, Scott. Does she go to church? Because that's validation.
to me and this and that. I know in my spirit.
She does sound like she needs to be validated. She absolutely does.
Hey, this is the truth. This is real. This is the truth. And so whenever...
Listen, guys, I don't need validation, which is why I'm going to make a video, please asking you to agree with me and validate me.
I share scripture and this and that, it's in an effort to help others, okay? And it's a more selfless type thing. It's not the same as, oh, let's do this and have people validate my pronouns and fake pronouns. Okay, I'm going to go by theys or they, them, and I need everyone to acknowledge me, you know? So it's a completely different...
It's not really everyone to acknowledge them. It's just like, hey, I'm going by this set of pronouns. Can you please attempt to respect that? And I want to stress, when people blow up, when somebody misgenders somebody accidentally, I have an objection to that. I feel like if it's done accidentally, that should be forgiven. Somebody should say, hey, you misgendered this person, and the person goes, oh shit, I'm sorry. That's fine. But when you're doing it on purpose and we're getting offended by it, making videos saying how, like, what you're doing is based, that's not cool. That's being an asshole.
Different animal here. And the fact that it has seeped into the gaming industry as bad as it has, we're sick of it. We are sick of it. It's been happening, but we're sick of it, right? So here we have Hassan, who says this weird British guy losing his mind over selecting pronouns in Starfield is the perfect demonstration for why we must bring back lobotomies.
Okay. I think that's obviously a joke. In that context, essentially he's saying, yeah. Like, in the joking context, he's obviously not saying we should literally lobotomize people, but he's obviously saying a joke, and I get what he's saying. He's saying these are abhorrently bad takes, and people who agree with them are, frankly, hurting our society.
Retarded take, but okay. And a follow-up, Piker disingenuously wrote, bro should be mad that the menu maps UI is confusing. The game is not optimized well for PCs, or that the main quest is kind of dull in comparison to side adventures. But he's mad about pronouns he had to choose, like in every single game where there's a character creator.
So Hassan's take was, as Heelvsbabyface should complain about actual issues with the game instead of a fucking ignorable drop-down menu where you can pick your pronouns. Gee whiz, maybe he's making a good point where maybe you should actually, like, I don't know, analyze the fucking game. Mind-blowing, I know. It's much easier to just freak out over pronouns. What am I thinking?
This is simply not true, as most games before current day had players, if given the option, choose between male and female set.
True, there is, like, Decoy, that is absolutely true. There is nothing there to lobotomize. They would go to lobotomize and be like, oh shit. Already done.
They did not have players pick how other characters would refer to them with pronouns. There would also not be an option for they, them, as Heelvsbabyface showcased in his first live stream of the game. Nevertheless, Piker is clear.
Oh my god, and she's actually showing the bottom of the article, because Bounding the Comics does this all the time. They have just an article, and it seems... Lots of times it seems kind of transphobic, because sometimes it seems like fucking normal. Then you scroll to the bottom, and it goes into, like, citing Christmas, or, oh my god, citing Christian shit, as if that's some sort of source to prove something. Bounding the Comics is not a news source. It is a propaganda source.
Clearly captured by the current day gender identity politics, which as is vociferously condemning for being included in Starfield. As I pointed out numerous times here at Bounding into Comics, this embrace of pronoun or transgender ideology is wrong. Bishop Michael
I think it's the same bishop too. It's like what? Michael Burbage or something? Bishop Burbage. Yeah. I think that's the same one they bring up in pretty much every single Bounding the Comics article. Michael fucking Burbage. Like, can we bring up, like, science or anything? No, we're just going straight into Christian propaganda. Cool.
Bitch, I'm not Catholic. I don't know what to, I'm Christian. So, okay. But, so if I pronounce anybody's name, no disrespect.
Absolutely, Julia. Like, Bounding Comics is interesting because outside of, like, the core website, they don't have much of a following. Like, their YouTube channel is fucking dead. The main Twitter accounts this guy uses, John F. Trent, who's the main Bounding Comics guy, his shit is dead. Like, probably the biggest promotion they might have gotten was when we spotlight their shit on Fandom Initiative, because... Like, they are not a news source. They parade as a news source. They are Christian propaganda through and through. And these guys, like Melonie Mac, like to treat them like they're some sort of fucking news source. And I think it's interesting because if you look at Nerderotic or Geeks and Gamers when they bring up these guys, they're smart enough not to go into this part. They're smart enough to avoid the shit where he's going into Bishop Michael Burbage shit. She just dives right into it.
Of the Catholic Diocese of Arlington explains, those asserting a transgender identity and or seeking to transition often adopt new names and pronouns that reflect their desired identity and insist that others must use the chosen names and pronouns. Such use might seem innocuous.
It's not insisting. It's just, hey, can you use this? Because I'm changing my name and my pronouns. Can you use this? And if you're not an asshole, the answer is yes.
And even appear to be innocent, an innocent way of signaling love and acceptance of a person. In reality, however, it presents a profound crisis. We can never say something contrary to what we know to be true. To use names and pronouns that contradict the person's God-given identity is
the person's God-given identity. A name is given to you by your parents. The gender identity is given to you by a doctor. Like, are you saying parents are God or the doctor is God? Which one is God in this analysis here? Just wondering.
Is to speak falsely. Bishop Burbage adds, the faithful should avoid using gender-affirming terms or pronouns that convey approval or reinforce the person's rejection of the truth. It is not hard.
What truth? What truth are we talking about, Melonie? What?
harsh or judgmental to decline to use such language. In broader culture, Catholics may experience.
So, I mean, using this logic, it's a sin for a woman to change her name when she gets married. That would be a sin. It's a sin for an actor to use a stage name. That is a sin as well. Like, where do we draw the line here?
Experience significant pressure to adopt culturally approved terminology. However, in no circumstance should anyone be compelled to use language contrary to the truth. The right to speak the truth inheres in the human person and cannot be taken away by any human institution. Attempts by the state, corporations, or employers to compel such language, particularly by threats of legal action or job loss, are unjust. This is very on point. I completely agree, and that's something that I've felt convicted for over time, because used to I thought I didn't mind using people's. I felt weird doing the whole they them thing, but if transgender people, you know, was like, oh whatever, go ahead and call them by the pronoun they want, right? He or she, and I did that for a while, but then I started to feel like, okay, I think this is wrong, because as a Christian that I am. I shouldn't be validating transgender ideology. I shouldn't be validating that because it is against the Bible. I mean, the Bible specifically speaks of
the Bible that's filled with pronouns. Like, the Bible is brimming with pronouns. Are you okay with those pronouns? I'm just trying to figure out where you draw the line on that Bible. Like, what aspects of that Bible are you cool with and what aren't you cool with? Because, like, it's filled with pronouns. And obviously you're not cool with pronouns. So, like, where are we drawing lines? Because I know for me, like, when we're dealing with a book that's, like, a couple of thousand years old from not reliable sources, I have a tendency not to think we should really base our society on such a book. Really in any way. Like, it could be fun myths and stuff like that, but that's the thing. We should treat it like Greek mythology. That's because that's all the Bible is. It's Christian mythology. Treating it as if it's like some sort of source of morality is honestly not a good way to judge morality whatsoever.
Men and women not wearing each other's clothes, and not so much in a my interpretation of that is not so much.
Here, the best argument I've ever heard for whether or not God is the authoritarian for morality, because the argument is always like, God is the moral authority. If it's good if God says so. So the question then becomes, okay, what happens if God says murder is okay? What if God says that? And then, their obvious response is, oh, well, God would never say that because murder is not okay. Well, when you say God would never say that, then you're admitting that there's a moral authority outside of God. Because when you say God is the ultimate moral authority, then everything he says must be moral. So if he can't say God is murder is okay and that becomes moral, then he is not the ultimate moral authority. There is a moral authority outside of him.
Much in a girl wearing her boyfriend's oversized hoodie, but more so in attempting to look like the opposite gender. And so for me, I just don't feel right doing that and using their pronouns that they want me to use if they are inaccurate to the gender that God created them as. All right, so let's continue. He then emphasizes we must love in truth, and truth must be accurately conveyed by...
Are we just going to keep on reading what Bishop Michael Burbage says? Because I like Bounding the Comics, I feel like, has a couple of paragraphs of Burbage shit they just post at the bottom of every fucking article. Because they're fucking lazy. Christian propaganda garbage.
Our words. At the same time, clarity must always be at the service of charity as part of a broader desire to move people towards the fullness of the truth. Also, well said. That's the thing, is people act like you're not being loving or that you're being hateful for using the pronouns, their accurate biological pronouns, and act like that's hateful. But
that's a good point, Scott. Yeah, she doesn't really have her own views. She's literally just reading the argument and going, oh yeah, that's right. Like, Yeah. Yeah, it makes me wonder, like, I don't think she's ever done a debate. I wonder how she'd do in debate. She'd probably fall apart fairly quickly without anybody to tell her what to say.
Just like said here, the truth. You can't, a lie. You know, a lie is not love. It's just not. It's a lie. It's a lie. And that's also against the Bible. And, I mean, come on. So we're just...
Okay, so you haven't addressed what the lie would be. Like, again, would a white woman taking on the name of her husband, husband that she's married to, would a woman taking on the name of her husband, would that be a lie?
We're supposed to live in a lie and we're supposed to affirm a lie? No. All right, so people on Twitter have been raging. I found this because of player takes, because this...
Oh, I forgot the Nina Infinity take. That got some traction too. I almost refunded my game when Starfield asked me my pronouns. Yeah, that was cringe. It's like it's pronouns have existed in the English language since the beginning of the English language. Move on.
This guy was, he wouldn't tag me and Nina in this, of course. He don't want to take no heat, but he thought he...
She straightened the curly hair that God gave her. She's lying. Scott, her arm is covered with fucking tattoos. She is, what is the term? She is, diluting what God gave her. Crap. I'm brain farting on words today. She is, violating the temple of her body. I don't know. But, like, she's artwork, like tattoos, are not a thing that's like God is typically cool with. I bet you she eats shrimp too, which is another thing. Like, God hates some fucking shellfish. You better not be eating shrimp.
He wanted to dunk on us. He goes,
Yes, she defiled the body given to her by God. Thank you, Crawling Chaos.
I know we are all making fun of that bald dude being livid about Starfield pronouns, but we should make fun of them as well, of course, because you always got to have that catty feminine guy that's got to pick on women, and that's their favorite thing. The male feminist types, they are scared of men, like, because they can't square up against men.
Is that true? Is that true? Male feminists are scared of men. Are we sure about that? I'm not sure about that one, Melonie. I would probably qualify as a male feminist in your view, because I have this crazy idea that men, women, trans people should all be treated equally. I know that's wild. So I guess I'd probably qualify. Am I scared of men? Not that I've noticed. I mean, do you have an example to cite? I haven't noticed, but maybe you got some other examples. Maybe there's overwhelming evidence that there's that men who think all people should be treated equally, just whether different race or sex or whatever, should be like, people who think those people should be treated equally, fear men. I need some citations, man.
Right? Emotionally, physically, all of it. So that's why they target women, all while pretending to be champions of women. It's quite ironic. So anyway, this was a tweet which I'll show. I believe it was right here. This is the original tweet in question. She goes, I almost refunded my game when Starfield asked me for pronouns. I might still, ... I'm annoyed about it. Okay, and then she goes on to clarify. Update, she did refund Starfield. She had major issues with the frame rate and also issues where...
Hey, issues with the frame rate. That is actually a good reason. We're so stuck up on the fucking pronouns of this game, we aren't even talking about whether or not the game's any fucking good. And having... like actual technical difficulties, that's an issue that should be brought up, not the fucking pronoun selector.
Or she would talk to an NPC and their mouth didn't move, but she could hear the audio. It happened multiple times.
Oh, Wallace and Gromit fan, we will go nuts if we can count the number of times Melonie Mac uses a fucking pronoun in this video. She is going to use so many pronouns in this video because these people are whole fucking hypocrites. They act like pronouns are some new fucking thing when they've been around forever.
Times I may have let the pronouns thing go if the game was close to perfect. It's not. It's terribly glitchy. I had issues with Cyberpunk at launch. Wow, this has 1 million views. I hope she's monetized.
She's got a blue check. She's monetized.
So anyway, then I replied to this, and I said, well, I won't be getting it confirmed. And of course, people got all butthurt about it. I did not, and it's funny because I usually know when people are going to get butthurt and come after me. And in this case, I didn't expect it because I was like, just very lighthearted about it. I wasn't just like, oh, this is blah, 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 even though I don't even against that, like as poetically goes on his rants. But I just thought, oh, this is funny. So I was like, well, I won't be getting it confirmed. And people are like, why are you so triggered? Why are you so mad? You're molding. It's like, that's molding. That if I ever see anybody, it's the woke tards, dude.
Really? What did you think Az was just doing in that 2-minute video that went viral? You don't think that was him going It looked like somebody going to me.
They will lose their ever-loving minds over not being called a made-up pronoun. But me going, well, guess it's not for me. Whoa, she's molding! So anyway, Player Takes brought this to my attention. And he goes, or they go, I don't know what their gender is. When I say they, I mean male or female. I don't know, but definitely not non-binary. I always find it funny how players, trademark, like this dude, are too cowardly to actually tag the people they are encouraging others to target in and let them have a say back. I wonder.
Oh, because Melonie, there's no point in tagging people like you. You guys are always on top of it. I see the comments you guys post, and you guys sometimes pop up in my Twitter mentions. I know you guys see the shit I do. I don't need to tag shit. You're right there. Because you guys are so triggered by any criticism. And to be honest, I think part of the reason I trigger you guys so much because just a little piece of you knows I'm fucking right. That you're just grifting liars.
What Melonie Mac and Nina Infinity have to say to you. Now, let's look at this guy's profile here. Okay, his bio here. First of all, the picture. Okay, everything you'd expect.
What? I don't... okay, it's a Twitter picture. Cool.
It's just a drawing, so you...
We owned him, guys. He's got a Twitter pic. Oh. It's the same thing when people like to point out my bio on Twitter. It's like, oh, look at his bio. It's like, yes, it's a bio. I don't think this is the own you think it is.
He's an even worse version of that, but okay, I'm going to leave it at that. His bio says media critic, sensitivity consultant. Made Stop Gamergate 2014. Streamer, Card Lord, Dapper Seek with NFT. Nice hacking turban. Okay. Interesting.
Okay, it's a goofy bio. What's your point?
All right.
Oh, look, it's the same thing that people do when they point out my bio. It's like, oh, look at this bio. That means your argument's invalid. It's like, number one, I have that bio up for a reason. I support all the things on that bio, flat out. I'm just letting you know the type of things I support, so you can determine whether or not you want to follow me or not. That's it. Showing me my bio or showing somebody else's bio is not an own at all.
Sensitivity consultant tells people that they need to make fun of us. Wow. Interesting.
We're almost there, Wallace and Gromit fan. We can do it. Yeah.
All right. Neat. And I like that Nina doubled down. This is what I really appreciate about her. She's got courage, man. Because she got a lot of backlash for that original tweet. She even got taken out of context a lot, and some of that did get rectified, but not all of it, from other people. So she took a lot of heat from that, and she doubled down. I'm like, yes, girl. She goes, people are pretending that putting preferred pronouns in a video game is completely normal. People who are pretending that are being disingenuous. AF.
Yeah, preferred pronouns isn't a thing, and like this is the first video game I've heard of that has it, but like I don't care. And I guess it just defaults to like your gender, like if you don't select it, like it doesn't ask you what your preferred pronouns are. It's just a choice in the menu. And if you don't do anything with it, it does your default. Deal with it?
Starfield is a woke and crappy game. I completely...
What does woke mean?
Agree with her in this case. Now, I'll expand on that here in a second because I feel like this explained things.
It's just using pronouns woke because woke is Bible is woke then. Bible's super woke. This video is super woke.
Really well too. So Dan says here, it's okay to have high tolerance to bullcrap. No irony. It's fine to be cool with wokeness in Starfield. Some people have a higher threshold. Some people have it lower. But if you are to make the claim that the game is not woke, when the first thing to greet you is this weird character creation straight out of a California college reality where gender doesn't exist and pronouns are interchangeable, now that's disingenuous. The game is woke.
So pronouns make it woke. An optional pronoun selector makes it woke. God damn, these people are snowflakes. I swear to God. Like, everything just triggers these people.
And you find it reasonably acceptable, yet you'll do well to remember no extremist political movement ever stopped at reasonably acceptable. All right, this video is getting really long, so I gotta close this out. But anyway, I just think that the main principle of this all, and I think most of us we're just tired. We're really tired of this, right?
Then stop having a shit fit every time, like, there's pronouns. Like, if you're actually tired of this, which this is your grift. I like, if you're genuinely tired of this, just don't make content. Like, the internet will be a better place if you don't make this content. Like, I can honestly tell she seems kind of tired, which tells me, like, she knows she's full of shit. She knows it. She's just, like, pushing this shit out because it gets her clicks. And it does get her clicks. Like, how many views did she get on this one? 51,000. Not one of her most successful, but, you know, she's getting the fucking clicks. She is. And that's why she's doing it. Pure and simple.
You know, we've been speaking out against a lot of the woke ideologies being inserted into these games and the woke ideologies that have hijacked the gaming industry at large.
There is some lesbian energy in that lighting. Absolutely.
We have been speaking out against this, but there was still, like, I think, at least for me, I can't speak for everyone, there was still, you know, a little bit of wiggle room for, okay, if the game's really good, I'll put up with this or I'll put up with that, whatever. But my tolerance for this stuff is, like, on the floor now. I'm sick of it. I am just so sick of it. It's like, come on, man. This is beyond ridiculous. So that's where I'm at with things. So some people may think, oh, this is an overreaction, this, that, and the other. It's like, dude, there's so many reasons for that. First of all, the more you just let stuff go, the more it piles up and the worse it gets, right? So enough is enough. At some point, you have to draw the line. And
true, we need a world without pronouns whatsoever. Just drop all pronouns. Call everybody by their proper name from now on. Fuck pronouns.
I think that's where a lot of gamers are at now. We're drawing a line because it's like, all right, enough's enough, because this is going to pile up and it's going to get ridiculous. I mean, look where we are at society. People are mutilating children's bodies. They are.
Whoa, people are mutilating children's bodies? A fucking source right there. Like, I like how you just drop that in the end of the video, and it is pretty much a basic right-wing talking point. And God, her eyes look so dead right now. Like, I wonder if she is sick of talking about this stuff, but she just is desperate for the clicks. Like, that's what this look is telling me. This look is telling me, please, for the love of God, Just give me the clicks. But, like, I'm sick of talking about this shit. Because I know it's shit. But I like money. And we live in a capitalist system. So I'll just keep on lying. That's what this look tells me. Melonie, you can stop at any time. Just start telling the truth. You'll get lots of rejection from your fan base. But at the end of the day, you'll actually, like, not be a negative influence on this platform. Of course, I mean, I'd love it if you actually listened to my criticisms and what I said, but you're not going to, because grifters gotta grift, right? But seriously, like, just fucking stop talking about this shit, and yeah, like, your life will be better.
Are chemically, and
your fans' life will be better too. Like, they'll either stop following you, in which case they have one less source for this garbage, or they'll listen to you, and then maybe you can improve some of their lives.
Surgically castrating them, right?
Instead, you're just doing the standard right-wing talking point, and I am so tired of it. So fucking tired of it. Listen, like, children are not getting sex change surgeries pretty much at all. Like there's, like, almost no children getting sex change surgeries unless there's something extreme happening. Like, extreme. And frankly, nobody does sex change surgeries without heavy consultations from doctors. Like, it's not like you walk to a doctor's office and you get a sex change surgery. Like, there are layers upon layers of this shit. But yeah, right-wingers gotta do that talking point and have no sources to cite.
Even adults. I'm not even for it for adults. I don't think adults should be getting their body parts cut off. I think it's ridiculous, right? We should not be mutilating human beings.
Melonie, we should not be mutilating human beings. You say, as your left arm is covered with tattoos. Just saying.
We should not be mutilating them to look like some scientific experiment, right? That's a whole other discussion, because I know people are going to be, what about this? What about that? What about... I ain't got time for that. All I'm saying is, let's not pretend like gender reassignment surgeries are not Frankenstein stuff, okay? Let's not pretend that. Let's not compare that to a woman with triple G breasts that wants to get them lightened up a little bit so that she doesn't break her back when she walks. All right, let's not compare it. Okay. So anyway.
Nobody was comparing it, but let's see. How much does she have left? We gotta be almost done.
There you have it for this video. Thank you all so much.
Okay, yeah, she's done. So, Melonie, this video, like, especially towards the end, I felt like you're doing a cry for help. Like, you are just like, please, I don't want to talk about this shit anymore. And you don't have to. You don't have to. You can fucking stop. Like, you obviously don't have any thoughts. You're, like, just reading down into comics kind of blindly, and this spewing right-wing talking points. And you just spew hateful shit. And you don't have to do that. I know it gets easy clicks. It gets lots of easy clicks. But you don't have to do that. And it's like, I can almost see, like, the deadness in your fucking soul. Like, it's kind of crazy. Don't. Just don't. Like, if you're tired of talking about this stuff, then fucking don't. Just don't. I mean, I know you're gonna keep on grifting. You're not gonna listen to me. Even though there's a solid chance you're gonna watch me, you're not gonna listen. But you can walk away. The world would only be improved if you did. Like, and you don't even have to walk away from YouTube. Just start making content that's not fucking hateful. Stop with the transphobia. That's your biggest one. And stop with the anti-woke shit. Just all the anti-woke shit. Just stop all of it. And just make the YouTube content you want. Yeah, it's gonna hurt your pocketbook. It will definitely hurt your pocketbook. But at least you won't, like, feel, like, gross. Like I suspect you probably do. Because it seems like your soul is fucking dead right now. It seems like you're dead.
Books, records, films, these things matter. Call me shallow. It's the fucking truth.